Hello, I'm Dan Thurrott with Space-Biff News, and today we're in lovely Layton for 2014 SaltCon. Since it's Layton and not Salt Lake City, it's not actually SaltCon anymore, but LayCon was already claimed by a Las Vegas trade show. And it's very exciting. SaltCon is the third largest Mountain West board game conference in the Mountain West, only behind DenCon in Denver, Colorado, and BozoCon in Bozeman, Montana. So we're going to go in a moment and see if the turnout is any better than last year's. So here we are outside the Davis Conference Center. Let's head in and see how SaltCon is doing. And my goodness, it looks like this year the turnout is enormous. All right, I'm Dan Thurrott. I'm here with Rusty and Malice. I talked to Malice last year about their upcoming game, War Command, which has been changed, it appears, to War Haven. So, Malice, why don't you tell us about why is it War Haven now? When I think of havens, I think of, like, not war.
Well, you know, we had an issue with the trademark as far as it became a red flag for the trademark. And when we, ran into that issue where we didn't really want to do a rename, but we had to. So, we ran through a bunch of different names, took some different polls and different options as far as from everybody else. And Warhaven was our best shot, as well as it led back into the backstory a lot better. So that way we can kind of merge both into a little bit better of an idea.
Awesome.
And it's a little bit of an oxymoron, but it's also kind of a play on words, because in the storyline, Haven, the planet that the game takes place on, is like the last place sentient life can exist in the universe. So it's also the last haven to have a war. And of course, if sentient life is somewhere, they're going to have a war.
So what caused that? Like global warming everywhere? Or?
Actually, it's supposed to be an interstellar collapse, which is multiple galaxies actually coming together and causing a huge wave of radiation as every star in them blows up. Of course, this is sort of against real physics theory where we're all spreading apart, but whatever. And the wave of radiation is just sweeping across the entire galaxy. And as far as the Milky Way, there's only one planet that at least these three races could reach that was going to have enough asteroids and magnetic activity around the planet to shield them from that radiation. So everyone who could in the galaxy is migrating to one spot and sort of running into each other, and at the same time the stress of the migration has collapsed their civilizations, so they're sort of recombining on the surface, and all these small armies just led by the most enigmatic and powerful individuals.
Cool. So I know that last year I talked to your brother and he gave us a good description of the game. I don't know which of you want to field this, but you want to just give a 1 or 2 minute overview for our viewers?
I can.
You can?
1 to 2 minutes, right?
Yep.
All right. So really it comes down to everybody has a commander character. It's up to the opponent and you to kill the enemy commander before he kills you. Just like in chess, if a commander dies, you lose. So that's the objective of the game. You're facilitated by 5 other characters of different classes based on your own strategy and choices when you're building your deck. We have different classes like the Grunt class, which is the weakest type of class with the strongest playing cards that play on them, or the Hero class, where you have the strongest character with the least amount of cards that play on them. It comes down to also that you also are facilitated with a support deck that contains support cards of upgrade cards, spell cards, attack and defense cards, and then you're using all these cards to try and tactically wage war against your opponent to kill that enemy commander.
Cool.
That's one quick rundown.
Sorry. One thing that sets it apart from other card games that play out on a board like this is you have 6 characters at the beginning, and those are the only characters you're going to have in the game. And your support deck is all cards set around enhancing them and their play on the board. So when you play the game, you're actually picking the roles that you want, not just the characters. Every character can be upgraded in multiple ways to play totally different, and that's further enhanced by, at the beginning of the game, there's a divider in the middle of the board, and you actually set your characters up in the rear 4x3 area, so you really get to decide, like, this is an offensive character. I've loaded my deck with attack cards for him. He has 1 upgrade is all, and it's designed to increase his attack. I'm going to put him right on the front line so he can charge in and cause problems while I upgrade the rest of my deck.
Cool. So when are we going to see Warhaven in stores or on a digital device? When do you think the date will be?
We're shooting for fall as far as digital, but that's still kind of in the works as far as working on an actual release date. As far as we're doing the Kickstarter re-release starting in May, that way we can launch the physical edition and get it in your hands as far as the box set, which will contain all necessary dice, 2 full first edition sets, the game board, rules, and lore booklet. You can get that also right now in a print and play. On our website, we have a free print and play where you can download all the cards in the print and play format. We give you the rules and everything. You can go ahead and play at home for free.
Cool. Well, thanks, Malice and Rusty, for your time.
Thank you.
Warhaven. All right, I'm here with Derek Duncan of Yay Old Games. And what are you going to tell us about today, Derek?
I'm going to tell you about 2 things. First off, I'm representing the Game Crafter, which is a self-publishing design website where they'll take care of all the production, all of the shipping. You just provide them with the designs, and you can sell your games straight from there. And some of the games that I'm making here, and these are all produced with the Game Crafter. I have the Zombie Siege, which is a cooperative board game where you are trapped inside an office building trying to seal off all the entrances before the zombies overrun you. And then I have a small tiles game, and I can show you an example if you'd like.
Sure.
Okay. It's a simple game. I'm going to let you go first.
Okay.
Go ahead and flip one over and place it in front of you.
Just...
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so the point of this game, it's called The Hunt. You're trying to capture the beast. And you did, so you get 5 points.
Oh, great.
And that ends the round. This game is 11 rounds, so we'll shuffle that back in. Now I'm going to go first, and I got the beast too.
Oh my goodness.
Which, 1 out of 11, that's not a very good percentage.
We're really good hunters.
We are. Okay, now your turn to go first.
Okay.
Maybe this one will be more interesting.
Okay.
All right. So now you drew what's called the curse, so you lose your next turn.
Oh man.
Then I have wisdom. I get to peek at a tile. So I know what that is. Now it's your turn, but you missed your turn.
Okay, I lose it.
You lose it, so I get to go again. I got the treasure. So 1 treasure is worth 1 point, 2 treasures is worth 4 points.
Okay.
So it's just points. Now you finally get to go again.
Okay, so how do I know you're not just making up what these are on the spot? Like I could be like, this is the nanny. So what is that for real though?
That is the nanny, actually.
Is
it's,
it?
It's not. It's the thief. And each of the tiles has representation here.
Okay.
And the rules tell you what each tile does. So if you want to check
Got
me,
it.
you can.
Okay, no, I'll trust you.
So you have the trap, and you could skip anyone.
Okay, I pick you.
You pick me.
Okay.
You sure?
I'll pick cameraman. Okay, so I pick
so
another
you go
one.
Again.
Another treasure.
Yep.
All
And
right.
I go again. I have the feast or the devouring. If I catch the beast, I get bonus points. Otherwise, it's worth nothing.
Okay.
Your turn. The beastkin. That doesn't do anything special, but it'll give you points at the end.
Okay.
I will pick this, the ally. If it's 2 to 4 players. If there were more players, I could choose someone else to go. But since it's just me and you, I choose you.
Oh, great.
The thief. You get to steal a tile from someone else.
All right.
All right. And I will take this one. which is the beast, and so that ends the hunt. We don't tick the last one, the round is ended. Each one of these tiles has a point value, and I won't go into it right now, but you score each, then after 11 rounds, whoever has the most points is a winner.
Cool.
Yep, so that's that. That's a simple game, and the quality of these is what you can get at GameCrafter. I designed the stickers, and they provided the rules. I designed all that, and they provide the pieces.
Cool. Awesome. So it seems like you can do a lot of stuff with this game crafter.
Oh, absolutely. You can make a wide variety of games.
Cool. Well, thank you for your time, Derek, and back to you. Welcome back. We're here with Isaac, who's created these nice dice towers and some magic boxes, which are no longer infringing on Wizards of the Coast copyright claims.
They're fully original artwork now, so I don't get any more cease and desist.
Nice. Nice.
It's very optimum mainly to not get sued.
Right. So you're going to be launching a Kickstarter soon. Why don't you tell us about what you're going to be doing?
Okay, so next week we'll be launching these bamboo dice towers. They're just super high quality, hefty dice towers.
Do they smell good? I love bamboo.
They do actually smell good.
Oh, that is nice.
I think the brown ones smell better.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Here, let's. Oh, that is way nice. Hey, cameraman, you wanna smell it? Yeah, isn't that nice?
They're nice. So they are sniffable. You can sniff them as much as you want, and
Nice.
you won't get high or die.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
The former, I would have not minded.
Yeah, it's usually. I mean, it's not a bad thing. They can withstand being dropped down a 2-story flight of wooden stairs,
Wow.
because that one's done it 6 times,
Okay.
and they will be about around $30.
Okay, cool.
And I guess I'll roll some dice for the video.
Now we have proof that they work.
They are fully functional, and they will always roll 20s.
Awesome.
Always.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Dan Thrott, and today we're here with Rob Hicks, the creator of Mayhem, and we're going to have Adam, our regular cameraman, do the interview because he has played Mayhem. So it's over to you, Adam.
All right. So, Rob, what's changed since last year exactly?
With the game?
Yeah.
Well, last year we had our first release for the main book. We noticed that there were some abilities and text things as we got playing with fans that needed updated and needed fixed. So last year at about June, we released a text update for the book that was it just fixed some minor inconsistencies and things with the book. If anybody picked up a book last year, we're happy to replace it and switch it out. Apart from that, we've been working really hard on doing Volume 2, on doing additional content for it, and we are about halfway through with that. We're going to be making playtesting materials available for players, so we can get a lot of feedback and get it really refined before we put it into a final book. We've also been doing demos at gaming stores and coming and playing at cons that are available. We're basically just working on extra content and things like that for the book. That's mostly what's changed on it since last year is putting in more content and correcting the text edits from the first.
So, any content in particular that you feel is lacking, or just?
Not so much it's lacking. The first book is a complete game. There's a lot that's in there. There's 32 races, curses, and talents. There's a full magic system. There's 17 different weapon technique groups and things that people can do. There's a lot to build on in that first group. But gamers are very hungry for new content. The second book is going to about triple the options that are available and build a lot more into what's working on with that. We're also working on monsters and modules and things like that, storytelling resources for GMs, so that it's a more complete project in terms of providing a lot of those tools. Right now we have conversion mechanics for other game systems that are written in the first book, so you can pull content from other games, but we want to have our own monster manual that's available for it and a bunch of other similar resources that we are working on. But we're a very small company, and progress on that is a little bit slow. We're happy to keep people updated on that, though.
Okay. So you have 2 other games at your booth. What are those?
Okay. The first is the 17 Deadly Trials of Queen Mab. It's kind of like a role-playing game, but it's a little bit different. It's what we call a large group storytelling game, which is designed without maps or dice, but to fit bigger crowds. We'll be running that at the cons because it can play between 6 and 12 people, 6 and 12 or 16, depending on the size that we work with. It plays more like a group storytelling experience, but with specific challenges and things in place. I'll be right with you, sweetheart. And it's a single one-shot kind of adventure, but it plays with a big group. Really fun. That one is available on PDF right now through Drive-Thru RPG, and we'll be doing a print run on the books hopefully early this summer, so that people can buy a physical copy of that one. That one's a little bit cheaper. It's not a full role-playing manual, so it's more of a short booklet that people can buy. So it'll be very, very cheap because it's kind of a one-shot kind of adventure. The other projects we have in place are War Mage, which is a team versus team kind of strategy card game that uses cards and dice. The gist on that one is people select different characters and build a team based on cooperative abilities, kind of the interplay between which characters work better with others. And you play a team of 2 or 3 versus a team of 2 or 3 and kind of play last man standing with that. That one's not quite ready for production. We're still in playtesting with it. But we have been playing at the cons. People have really enjoyed it, and we look forward to finishing that one off. We have one other project that will be finished. It's done. It's ready for press, ready for printing very soon. But we can't do a lot of talking about it because it's in some competitions. So we'll very soon be able to be giving more information on that.
Okay. I think, well, there's one more question, I guess.
Sure.
In your expansion, are you going to have any other races that have weird allergies?
Of course. Good characters have both strengths and weaknesses that for a lot of characters like silver to the lycanthropes or iron to the fae, good weaknesses build in ways that the characters can interact with themselves and the environments that help identify who they are and where their strengths and weaknesses are. If everybody was super strong all the time, it takes away a lot of the dramatic tension. So having strengths and weaknesses to exploit adds strategy and depth to those kinds of games. Yeah. So yeah, definitely different strengths and weaknesses for different characters.
Okay. So is there going to be somebody who's allergic to wood, or?
I don't have any that are specifically allergic to wood. Wood's really, really, really common. Plus, if you walk through a forest, you'll burn yourself. So that one not specifically, but there are plenty of other similar concepts.
Well, I'm a big fan of the iron allergy because one of the players in the group we always like to make sure he's touching metal of some sort, be it currency or just a metal door handle. But
those kinds of mechanics are fun for both DMs and players because a DM that can kind of exploit weaknesses on their players can keep the players engaged. I mean, as long as it doesn't become abusive where they're just kicking people around for the sake of kicking them around, it gives people a chance to really get it back and forth. And for a storytelling game, that's really important. That's kind of the core of how the whole game functions. So, all right. So although the iron allergy in particular is not like a critical component of the way the game works, it's the kind of detail that makes storytelling games really shine.
All right, we're back, and we're here with Patrick, proprietor of Crash Games.
I prefer Grand Poobah, Dojo Master.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nah, that's good.
All right. The fried banana
That'll
of
work.
Crash Games.
That'll work. The head banana.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bluth banana.
Yeah, there's always money.
Always money in the banana
Always.
stand.
Okay. So now that we've had some references, what do you want to tell us about Crash Games? What have you got going on? What are your successes, your passions, your desires, fantasy secrets, anything you want to tell us in, like 3 minutes?
Midget on a bicycle whose hands smell like cabbage. No. No, you want me to hold it? Well, it's a fight for the microphone. I am passionate about 2 things in life, board games and people. And so Crash Games is an extension of that. We got some fantastic games already out. 2014 is a big year for us. We've got Pay Dirt on Kickstarter right now, and that's by Tori Neiman, the designer of Alien Frontiers, if you've heard of that. We've got some other great games coming out this year, an expansion for Council of Verona, a game called Kingdom Land by Adam McIver, who's the artist of Council of Verona, a game that's actually here at the convention that's up for an award. I can't talk about it yet, not till Sunday. So unfortunately, I know this will probably be up later than then,
Right. Can you
so they'll have to.
And we'll just say, right now it's Monday after Sunday.
Then it's a game called Yardmaster that's going to win the Ion Award.
Nice.
It may sound biased, but it was an honest. It did already when it hasn't been announced yet, but it'll be announced after this airs, or before this airs. It's in the future sometime. There's a TARDIS involved and an announcement. That's all that I know.
Awesome.
So yeah, so I love making games. I love my designers. I love my artists. It's a nice collaborative effort. I've got a great graphic designer in Delaware that really does a great job, and it's all about creating fun for families. You know, creating something that somebody can sit down and connect with their wife, their girlfriend, their son, their daughter, or their entire family, and that is the main motivation behind what I do. It's not for the money, folks. So there's not a lot of money. This is year 3, and I'm not paid yet. So we'll see. Hopefully one day, maybe. But thankfully, I married an engineer.
Nice.
Yes.
Cool. So is that Adam McIver behind Coinage?
Yep, that's the same guy. Adam and I first partnered up on Council of Verona. He's the artist for Council of Verona. And yep, he is the designer of Coinage. And so the game is called Kingdom Land. And you're all playing barons that are fighting for the crooked crown of Kingdom Land. So the best way to describe it in a nutshell, other than this is the game in a nutshell, there's another reference for you, is Kingdom Land is a bigger, more elaborate version than Coinage. Okay. Fantastic art, obviously, and gameplay. It's still in development. It's about 90% done. There's a little bit more that I want to achieve with it to make it more solid before we launch it on Kickstarter, but it will definitely be on Kickstarter in 2014.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time, Patrick. That was great. Once again, I'm Dan Thurott with SpaceBiff News, and I'm here with Christian and Dallin Haven, and they have put together a game called, tell us about it.
It's called Stella Nova, which means new star, as in what the wise men followed to get to Bethlehem. And Dan, we created the game last year, and we were wondering how it would turn out. We had the game play tested coast to coast, the West Coast, the East Coast, the Midwest in between. It turns out kids loved the game. They were really excited about it. And so we went ahead and formed an investment group, had an illustrator professionally design it, and then went into production. And that's how we ended up here at the SaltCon. Now, my son Dallin was the main person involved in formulating the rules and refining the game, so it's a great thing to play.
Great. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Dallin?
Okay, sure. Basically, you start as one of the wise men, up to 6 players. You start in the east, and you have to cross the mountains and desert and make it to Bethlehem over here. You have to pick up the 3 gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh, which are near the bottom of the map. And there's hazards along the way, robber bands, sandstorms, that sort of thing that you have to avoid. And you have to answer, it's a trivia game as well, you have to answer questions to pick up the supplies and the gifts. And they're both history and geography based for this time and area of the world, the Middle East, and the Bible for the time that Christ was born. And that's the real basic play of the game. It's a racing trivia game.
Okay. So is it educational at all, have you found, or?
Oh, definitely. Dan is very educational. We went out of our way to make sure that the game is historically accurate and authentic for the time of Christ and for this area of the world. One example, for example, is here at Yathrib in Saudi Arabia. Yathrib was actually the name of the city, but in 622 AD, the Muslim prophet Muhammad renamed it Medina, and so it's called Medina today. Anyway, yes, so we worked very hard at making this a very authentic game, and it is very educational because of that.
Cool. Have you considered a sequel or anything like maybe making a series of biblical games, you know?
I haven't thought about it, but Dallin has, as a matter of fact, which is kind
So
of amazing.
what other ideas would you think about setting in the New Testament or, you know, war game in the Old Testament?
We don't really, we haven't thought of any kind of new games. We've thought maybe a similar game based around something to do with Easter possibly. We've thought about extending this game, where I mentioned we have questions they have to answer, expanding the different questions, making more of them. As far as future, probably, you know, biblical-based kind of games. Definitely, maybe something in the future.
Okay. Is it at all possible to accidentally tip off Herod? Is that something you have to worry about, or is that not a concern currently?
I don't know how to answer that question, Dan. Excuse me for laughing. That hit my funny bone. But we're going to tip off Herod. Dallin, do you want to take that one?
Well, as far as part of the rules go, I don't know about tipping off Herod, but he is in the game, and if you get too close to him without the proper supplies, you can be eliminated from the game as part of the rules of it. As one of the supplies that you collect is a secret code to get past his assassins, and you don't have that, you're in trouble. So yes, avoiding King Herod is part of it.
Okay. Well, thanks for your time, father and son team, the Havens. So take a look out for Stella Nova sometime soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Dan.
Are you filming? Oh, okay. All right, we're SpaceBiff News, not a member of the Dice Tower Network, and I'm here with Ryan Lockett, one of my favorite board game designers. I've just confessed that to you now. And we're here today to talk about some of his success from 2013, which I think has been dubbed the year of Lockett in some crowds. Isn't that the case?
I haven't heard that, but it's been a busy year for me.
Oh, cool. So what did you do in 2013?
So I released 8-Minute Empire and City of Iron. I also kickstarted the the sequel to 8-Minute Empire, which is 8-Minute Empire Legends.
Cool. So how do you feel about the accusations that maybe you released a sequel too soon? Do you agree with that, or is that just preposterous?
You know, I don't think it was too soon, because for me it's a different enough game that, you know, but yeah, a lot of people said that because I did, you know, right when 8-Minute Empire came out, I released the Kickstarter immediately.
Right.
Yeah, but, you know, so far they're my best sellers, so.
Cool. So you just wrapped up a Kickstarter to expand City of Iron, and you're still running one for?
It's a new game called The Ancient World.
Okay. Can you reveal any secrets about the Ancient World?
I don't know if I have any secrets, but it's a worker placement game. It's a lot of fun. There's some tableau building, so you're going to be buying cards that help you build up your empire. The theme of it is that you're building up a civilization in order to attack these gigantic titans that have been terrorizing the land. So,
cool. Did you know that I'm your #1 fan?
No.
And I can empirically prove it. You want to see? Okay, hold this. So when you launched the Kickstarter for Ancient World, I was on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right then.
Yeah.
And I was the first pledge for the Ancient World.
Nice.
And because I review games, I get most games for free, but Ryan Lockett's games are one of the few that I will actually do on Kickstarter.
Wow,
so
thank you so much.
I just wanted you to know that.
Excellent.
So good luck with your Kickstarter, and yeah, it's Ryan Lockett. I'm here with Michael Coe.
Yes.
I keep thinking it's Coe,
That's
like
all right.
like Italian.
You know, it's funny. People want to oversimplify sometimes the simplest things. So Coe.
Coe.
Nice and simple.
Okay, it's Coe. I think what it is I'm only attracted to Italian men, and I find you incredibly attractive.
Well, it's got to be the beard.
I think it is.
And I appreciate that.
Okay, so enough with that. I've already expressed my crush on Ryan Lockett, so why don't we talk about this game that recently was a Kickstarter success.
Yes, indeed.
So why don't you just tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I'd love to. Tiny Epic Kingdoms is the greatest game you're going to be able to fit in your pocket that's come along. I mean, it's a 4X game that plays in 30 to 60 minutes. So if you know anything about 4X, you're already going, what? 30 to 60 minutes? What are you talking about? 4X
right.
games.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what am I talking about? I'm talking about taking a huge game experience and packing it down and simplifying it down to a great streamlined set of rules, and then setting it out and having a great time. Scott Alms, the designer of Tiny Epic Kingdoms, is brilliant. The way that he was able to chisel away at a lot of the extra stuff that 4X is involved in a 4X, came out with one of the most beautiful and elegant designs that I have ever come across. And the game speaks for itself at this point. It was very popular on Board Game Geek, ended up winning the Board Game Golden Geek Award for Print and Play for 2013. It's gone on to have a very successful Kickstarter. It's in production right now. I can't say enough good things about this game.
Awesome. So when can we expect it?
So look for full retail November at the end of this year. So right on time for Christmas.
Awesome. Great. Well, thank you so much for your time.
All right. Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Dan.
Thanks.
Nice chatting.